Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Promoted Sandra. In today's video, I will be showing you guys how to make a corset dress with a yoke and also a peplum sleeve. But in this video, I'll be showing you the drafting and the cutting tutorial. If this is something you're interested in, then keep up watching.
There are so many ways to support a business without spending a dime.
These are the materials I'm going to be using for the making of this corset dress. So this is about 2 yards of Ankara, okay, or 2.5 yards. I don't really know the total yard I have here. So I was having 6 yards before. I went ahead to make bubu kaftan dress from it, and this is what I have left. Then I also have about 2 yards of flower net here for the sleeve and also for the yoke. Then this is the doffs I'm going to be using. The first part of this tutorial is going to be the pattern making of this dress. So first of all, I'll go ahead and mark a straight line across my pattern paper, which is going to be serving as the starting guide. So I'll place my tip on that line I just marked. I will mark my bust point, which is 10 inches. I will mark my under bust 13.5 inches. Then the waistline 16 inches and the full length of the top is 22 inches. So you can make use of any length of your choice. Then I'll go ahead and mark a straight line across this point, okay? After marking it, I'll go ahead and label it bust point, under bust, waistline, and hip line or hemline. Then to get the armhole line, go ahead and place your tip on the chest line. Then mark 2 inches upward. I've been using this method a lot and it has been working for me, okay? So I'll go ahead and mark a straight line across like this, or you can use whatever method you've been using before. So I will place my tape on this starting line. I will mark my shoulder, which is 7 inches. I will mark the wideness of the neckline, which is 3.5 inches. I will go ahead and mark 3.5 inches. Then I'll come down by 4 inches, okay? Then I'll go ahead and connect the points together like this. I will come to my shoulder line. I will come down by ½ inch, which is going to be serving as the shoulder slope. So I'll mark a slant line from the neckline to that shoulder slope. I will come to the chest line. I will mark my shoulder measurement, which is 7 inches. So I just want the line to be straight. That is why I went ahead to mark it on the chest line. So I'll mark a straight line across like this. I will place my tape on this line I just marked. I will divide what I have in between here into two. By doing that, I will fold my tape into two and mark the midpoint. From this point, I will go in by ½ inch like this. I will come to the chest line. I will divide my bust measurement by 4. I will mark it. My bust is 38. Divided by 4 is 9.5. I will mark it here. Then I'll go ahead and connect the armhole like this, okay? From the shoulder to that ½ inch I marked earlier. Then from that ½ inch to the bust point line. I'll go ahead and mark my nipple to nipple measurement. So I will mark it on the bust point line. I will come to the hemline of the dress. I will also mark it and I'll mark a straight line across. I will come to the shoulder line like this. I will place my tape on it and fold it into two. I will mark the midpoint. I'll mark a slant line from the bust point to that midpoint I just marked. I will place my tape on the bust point line. I will mark 1 inch downward like this. I will come to the under bust. I will mark 1 inch to the side front and 1 inch to the center front. So I'll go ahead and use my French cuff to connect the points together like this. So I'm going to be using my marker so that it will be visible for you guys to see. So I'll just go ahead and use my marker like this. I will place my tape on the hip line like this. I will mark 4 inches upward. I was supposed to extend the dart line to that point I just marked, but I totally forgot. The reason is because it took them about 4 to 5 days to restore the light, and before I continued with this tutorial again and I forgot. But I'm going to be fixing that later, so just pay attention. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to place my tape on my bust point line like this. I will measure it to my under bust. What I have is about 3.5 inches. So I will mark that 3.5 inches round like this, just like as you can see me doing. Just go ahead and mark it round and make sure your tape is on your bust point. The dot line I am marking is not too visible. The reason is because I'm not going to be using it. The only part I'm going to be using is this part around the chest line, okay? I will place my tape on the dot I marked around the chest line. Make sure you are placing your tape. I will mark 0.7 inches inward like this. Then I'll place my tape on this other side. I'll mark half inch. Okay, I'll mark half inch like this. If you have a smaller bust, go ahead and mark half inch on both sides. If you have a very big bust, go ahead and mark 0.7 inches on both sides. I will go ahead and mark a slant line from the chest line to the bust point line, just like as you can see me doing. Then I will use my French curve to blend the middle like this. I will place my tape on the chest line like this. I will mark half inch inward, just like as you can see me doing. After marking the half inch, I will still place my tape on the chest line. I will mark half inch downward. So this is how deep I want my cleavage to be. If you want yours to be so deep, you can come down by 1 inch or 1.5 inch. So I also mark that say half inch on the bust point line. I will connect the points together like this. Then I'll go ahead and mark this half inch I came down with to the center front like this. I hope you guys understand. Then I'll go ahead and connect from this point to this point with my French curve. So I'll just go ahead and connect it like this. Please watch out what I'm doing. I'll go ahead and connect it down like this, okay? So when it comes to connecting it down, please watch out how I am placing my French curve. Don't place your French curve slanted like this, because after sewing it, the cup will not be able to pack your bust very well. But rather, place your French curve on your pattern paper like this and connect it just like as you can see me doing. After sewing it, it will pack your bust very well. So guys, I'm done with this first part. The next thing I'm going to be working on is the second part. So to do that, I'll place my tape in between these points that I have here, the shoulder line point and the bust point. I will fold my tape into two just to get the midpoint there, right? So from that point I just marked at the middle, I will come down by half inch. Then I will mark a straight line across like this. Okay, just watch out what I'm doing. Remember, I came down by half inch. From that half inch, I'll mark a straight line to the side front like this. Then I'll just go ahead and mark a straight line to meet with that half inch at the middle like this. Then I'll place my French curve to connect it. So please watch out how I am placing my French curve. Make sure it's meeting that half inch you came down with. Okay, just like as you can see me doing. I'll just connect it like this. The next I'm going to be doing is to connect from this point to the under bust. So when it comes to this side, go ahead and place your French curve right, okay, like this. Just connect it just like as you can see me doing. So after connecting it, this is already giving our cup corset. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to use my pencil to mark to connect the up together, because I'm going to be cutting the up part for a yoke. So I'll just connect it like this. So when I want to cut it out, it will be very easy. So remember, I've already divided my bust before and I marked it on the chest line. I will divide my under bust by 4, I will mark it. I will divide my waistline by 4, I will mark it. So remember, I told you earlier that I didn't connect this part, right? The dot here. So what I'm going to be doing is to go ahead and connect it. It's very easy. Just watch out how I am doing this. Remember, I went in on both sides by 1 inch. So that from that 1 inch, just mark a slant line to the point like this. Is very easy. So I will come to the hip line. I will divide the hip by 4. I will mark it. Then I'll go ahead and connect all the points together. So in case you don't understand the dart area, go ahead and watch my video on how to draft a basic bodice pattern. I will measure the dart I took around the chest line. I will replace it like this. I will add 1.5 inch sewing allowance. I will measure the one for the under bust. I will replace it. I will add 1.5 inch sewing allowance. Then I will just leave the one for the waistline. I will come to the hip line. I will add sewing allowance 1.5 inch. I will go ahead and connect it together. I will use my ruler to mark extra 1 inch at the down part for sewing allowance. Okay, so the total length I have here is about 23 inches. I will place my tape on the first line at the side, which is the main line. I will mark 3 inches inward like this. Then I will place it at the down. I will mark 3 inches upward. So I will go ahead and use my ruler to connect it like this. Just watch out how I am placing my ruler and how I am connecting this. This is not compulsory. You can go ahead and leave the down part of your own like that. So this is just me trying to make styles around it down. I just want to have something different, okay? You can go ahead and create your own style. So after marking it, I will add extra 1 inch at this side like this, okay? Then I will go ahead and reconnect it just like as you can see me doing. So I will label this part. This one is the front yoke. I will label here 1, 2. Then I will use arrow to connect it so that when I want to sew it, I will not make any mistake. I will do everything possible to mark the upper part so that I will know the part that is going to be at the upper part. Then after doing that, I will go ahead and cut it out like this. This cutter is no longer sharp. I will just go ahead and use my scissors to cut it out like this. Watch out the part I am cutting at. Can you see how I am cutting the yoke? Please follow the step. Oh, don't make any mistake. So after cutting it, this is how it look like, just like as you can see. Okay, the next thing I'm going to be working on is the back part. Just like as you can see on the table, I'll go ahead and mark a straight line, which is going to be serving as the starting line. Then I'll mark 1.5 inch inward for the zipper allowance. I'll go ahead and mark a straight line across. After marking it, I will take all the measurements from the line I just marked. So I will place my tape here like this. I will mark the shoulder line, which is 7 inches. I'll mark the neckline, which is 3.5 inches. Then I'll come down by 1 inch like this. Okay. I'll go ahead and connect it like this, then extend it like this. I will place my tape on the shoulder line. I will mark my bust points, my under bust points, my waistline, and the hemline. Okay, so for the back part, please do not mark the under bust. It's not necessary. So I'll go ahead and extend the lines like this. As you can see, I'll go ahead and extend the waistline and also the hemline. So I did extend the under bust line because it's not necessary. So I'll place my tape on the bust point. I will go up by 2 inches. I will mark a straight line across. This is the chest line. So I will place my tape on the chest line. I will mark 7 inches. I will come to the shoulder. I will come down by 1/2 inch and I will mark my shoulder slope. Then I'll connect it to that 7 inches. I'll place my tape on the chest line. I'll divide my bust by 4. I will mark it. I'll go ahead and connect it. Then I will divide my waist measurement by 4. I will mark it. I will divide the hip by 4. I will mark it. I'll go ahead and connect it together. So basically, I'm doing what I did around the front part. Okay, so I will just go ahead and connect it. I will add my sewing allowance. So for the back, I will not be adding that. Okay, I don't want to add that. I'll go ahead and connect all the points together with my marker like this. Okay, after connecting it, I will extend this down part like this. Then I'll place my tape on the waistline. I will mark 1/2 inch towards the zip part. Okay, like this. I'll mark 1/2 inch. I will just extend it out. Then I'll go ahead and connect a slant line from the shoulder to that 1/2 inch. Then I'll go ahead and connect it to the hip line. Okay, this is to remove zip bulge. I do this a lot in my videos. Then I'll place my tape on the hemline. I will go up by 3 inches. I will use my French cuff to make a curved line like this. Okay, you can just go ahead and give the back part of your dress any shape. So for me, I just want to have a curved shape like this. Okay, I'll go ahead and blend it around this area like this. Then I'll cut out this part I am marking. I will place my tape on the chest line. I will come down by 1 inch. Then I'll go ahead and connect it like this. Okay, the back part is going to have like a U design. So this is going to be the yoke. I'll go ahead and label it. Then I'll go ahead and cut it out. Just watch out the part I am cutting out. Okay. So guys, if you know you've watched to this extent, you've not like, comment, please do it to like, comment, and also subscribe to my channel. This really helped my algorithm a lot. So I'll go ahead and cut it out like this. After cutting it out, I'll go ahead and cut it out on my fabric. So I'll place the cup on my fabric, folded into 2. Then I'll go ahead and cut it out. When cutting it out, do it to mark 1/2 inch round. Okay, so for me, I went ahead to mark 1/2 inch round and cut it out. Then for the center front, I will fold my fabric into 2 like this. I will place the center front on it. I will pin it down. Okay, so make sure whatever you are doing, whatever you are cutting, add 1/2 inch round for joining allowance. So after pinning it, I'll go ahead and cut it out just like as you can see me doing. So I will add 1/2 inch at the down for joining allowance. I will add 1/2 inch at the side. Then I'll add 1/2 inch around the cup area. Then 1/2 inch at the top. So I'll go ahead and fold my flower net into two. Then I'll fold it into two again, which is going to give me 4 pieces. I will place my sleeve pattern on it like this. I already have a video on my channel on how to draft a basic long sleeve and short sleeve. I will pin it on it. Then I will place my tape at the down. I will measure 4 inches upward like this. Then I will fold it in. I hope you guys saw what I did. So after folding it, I will just go ahead and pin it down, then cut it out. The reason why I am folding it is because I'm going to be adding peplum around the dam side. So I'll just go ahead and cut it out. Add ½ inch for joining allowance. So after cutting it, I'll go ahead and fold my net into two like this. Make sure you fold your fabric into two before cutting the front part of the yoke. So I will fold it into two, pin it down, then cut it out. I will add ½ inch at the shoulder for joining, ½ inch around the neckline, and ½ inch at the down part, just like as you can see me doing. Just make sure you fold your fabric into two. Then I'm done cutting it out. This is what I have, as you can see. So my next video, I'll be showing you guys how to sew it. Please do well to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more.